You've heard it before. Follow your gut. But most people don't. They follow the crowd. They follow what's safe or familiar or approved by others. And in doing that, they ignore the one compass that never lies, their instinct. Let's take it back to the lion for a second. Lions are not the fastest animals. They're not always the biggest in the jungle, but they are the most strategic. They move with intention. They don't waste energy chasing things that don't matter. And they definitely don't change direction every time something shouts. Why? Because their survival depends on instinct. They're tuned in to the wind, to the scent in the air, to the rhythm of the environment. They trust what they feel before the world confirms it. That's what power looks like. Not noise, not reaction, but clarity. Now let's bring that back to you. How many times have you ignored your instinct because it didn't make logical sense? Because it didn't match the plan? Because it didn't have everyone's stamp of approval? You had a sense something was off, but you stayed. You felt a pull to go for something, but you hesitated. You knew something was right, but someone talked you out of it. We all do it. We second-guess the part of us that's the most honest, because it's quiet, and we're used to listening to what's loud. But instinct is never going to shout over the noise. You have to turn the volume down on the outside to hear what's real on the inside. The people who build lasting impact, they're not just skilled, they're aligned. They move in rhythm with who they are, not what others want them to be. And that kind of alignment only happens when you stop chasing opinions. Here's the trap most people fall into. They keep collecting advice. They bounce from opinion to opinion, trying to form a perfect plan. They think if they get enough validation, the fear will disappear. But that's not how this works. Fear doesn't leave because you got approval. Fear leaves when you act in alignment, with or without support. And sometimes, you have to act before it makes sense to others. Sometimes the door opens when you walk towards it, not when you wait for someone else to unlock it. Now this part is key. Instincts are not random. They're formed through experience, through reflection, through awareness. They come from your deepest knowing. Not your ego, not your insecurity, but your wisdom. And just like a lion, you've got to protect your energy. That means stop explaining your every move. Stop asking people who've never walked your path if you're on the right one. Stop letting second-hand fear block first-hand opportunity. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to live in full alignment with your purpose. Yes, that will feel uncomfortable sometimes. You'll feel alone. You'll question yourself. But that's part of the process. You don't develop instinct in calm. You develop it in chaos, by choosing to listen inward even when the outside is loud. That's when you realize you don't need every voice to back you. You just need the strength to back yourself. The truth is, lions don't look back when the world starts talking. They keep walking. They don't perform for an audience. They know who they are, and that's enough. So if you're sitting on an idea, if there's a move you've been hesitating to make, if there's a part of you that's been shrinking to fit into a space that no longer feels like home, this is your signal. Trust the feeling. It's not random. It's not a fluke. It's your instinct reminding you that you were never meant to stay stuck. If something inside of you is restless, don't ignore it. That's not anxiety. That's misalignment. Your soul knows when something isn't right, and it's your responsibility to do something about it. Move toward what feels true. Take the step, even if it's small. Say the thing, even if your voice shakes. Make the change, even if no one claps for it. Because lions don't wait for permission. They don't ask the herd if it's okay to roar. They just do it. And guess what? When they move, the whole jungle adjusts. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to yell to be heard. You just have to live in alignment long enough that people start noticing the strength in your silence. So here's the bottom line. When you stop chasing opinions and you start trusting what you feel, you'll stop moving in circles. You'll start gaining traction. You'll start building something that lasts. Not because it looks right to others, but because it is right for you. And that's what changes everything. Keep listening. Keep walking. The lion in you already knows the way.